Hey everybody, I'm here to make a special video today because today's my 1-year anniversary on YouTube. So yay for me, and thank you for everybody that's subscribed to my channel. And you know, I'll just keep making videos and keep doing what I do because it's what I enjoy doing. So anyways, I'm gonna go through all my Nintendo NES games for you guys, because I just figured, you know, my first video that I ever did a year ago, I was going through all my Nintendo games. So I'm gonna go through them again, but this time I'm gonna go into a little bit more detail, and I have a lot more games this time. So I put them all in alphabetical order, so it's not gonna be, you know, it's just gonna go strictly from A to Z. Not gonna save any, you know, favorites or anything like that. So I guess we'll just get started with the A's. And this first game here is Adventure Island, and this game's really awesome. It's a side-scrolling game, sort of like Mario in a way. Just go left to right, and then you get to a boss eventually, and beat the boss. This next game here, The Adventures of Bio Billy. I haven't played it too much. I think I've played about maybe the first level, and it's pretty fun, but I just haven't had time to get, you know, to get into it that much. I heard that you could use the light gun in the later levels, so I thought that was pretty cool that, you know, it uses that. So anyways, that's enough about that game. The next game we got Adventures of Dino Riki. And this is like a shooting game, sort of like a top-down Zelda type, you know, view, but it's nothing like Zelda though. It's a lot like, you know, like Galaga or something like that, in a way, where you're just like going down the board shooting enemies. So, but it's like, you know, it's more set like dinosaurs and stuff. I don't know, it's weird, but it's a cool game. Next game is Astyanax, and this is like a side-scrolling game. You're a guy with a sword and going through a level, killing enemies. So it's pretty simple, you know, type game. Next here we got Bad Dudes, and this is all like let's say Double Dragon, where you just go, it's like a beat 'em up, you just go, you know, left to right, beat up a lot of enemies on the way there, and yeah, pretty fun game. Here we got Bases Loaded, and it's just a basic baseball game for the Nintendo. Not much to say about that game. This next game, Batman. This game is really fun. The music is awesome, and the end boss is really hard, the Joker. And it took me a long time to beat him, and you know, get his pattern down and figure out how to beat that guy. So a lot of replay value on that game. Next game we got here, Battletoads. I don't think I'll ever beat this game. It's just one of those games where you pop it in once in a while, for me at least, you know, pop it in once in a while, play the first few levels, and then I just get bored with it after a while because it's just so hard after that. But yeah, Battletoads. It's a fun game, especially with 2 players. You have a friend over, you can play at the same time. Next game, Blades of Steel. This is my favorite hockey game for the Nintendo. Not much to say about it, it's just hockey. Here's a good game, Blaster Master. This is a really unique game. You ride around in like a tank type vehicle, and sort of like a Metroid, you know, you got to go around to these huge areas and collect items to advance to the next area. So it's a really cool game. here we got Bubble Bobble, and this game is really fun if you can get past the cuteness in it. It's really, especially if you have a friend also, you know, this game is really fun on 2 players, and they won't even, you know, give you the proper ending unless you beat it with 2 players, so that's kind of weird. Let's see, we got here Castlevania. Here's another game that took me a long time to beat the end boss and to beat death. You know, all that stuff. You have to play this game for a long time to really learn this game and beat it. So you can't just run through it like Mario. You know, it's one of those games. But second one on the hand, Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest. This is just one of those games where it's not really that hard to like beat the bosses or, you know, kill the enemies or anything like that, but you definitely need a guide, you know, Nintendo Power or, you know, the internet or something to help you out, because if you've never played this game before and you just tried beating it, then good luck. But it's a good game though, I'll give it that. Cobra Command. I actually haven't played this game, I don't think. It's a recent pickup. But I'll have to pop this in and try it out. Sorry I don't have much to say about it, or anything to say about it. But this next game I do have a lot to say about. And it's Crystalis or Crystalis or Crystalis or whatever, however you want to pronounce it. I just say Crystalis. But this game is really fun. It's sort of like Zelda. You go around with your sword and kill enemies, and you know, go into dungeon type, you know, cave type areas, and eventually find a boss and progress in the game. But it has a lot of RPG aspects to it, which I usually don't like in video games, but it's not a turn-based RPG, so I definitely like this game a lot. It's in my top 5 favorites for the NES. I recommend it to anybody who's a fan of the Nintendo. So if you see this game, definitely pick it up and try it out. Alright. We got Cyber Stadium Series Base Wars. I wasn't sure if I should put this with the B's or the C's or whatever, but it doesn't really matter. I just call it Base Wars. I never call it Cyber Stadium Series or whatever. I just call it Base Wars. But it's a really fun game. It's a baseball game for the Nintendo, but they add robots in there and fighting elements. So it's a lot like Blades of Steel in a way, kind of, where you have to fight your opponent once in a while. So yeah, pick it up if you see it. It's a really fun game. Next, we got Demon Sword. And this game is sort of weird. You have to, I think when you beat a boss at the end of the level, it makes your sword a little bit longer and a little bit stronger. Sounds really dirty, but yeah. And eventually you get more powered up and, you know, start kicking butt and stuff. But it's really hard to get past the first level or two because you're just so weak. But I beat this game, I think the first day I got it, so it's not that hard of a game once you get into it. Let's see here. DuckTales. This game has awesome music, awesome gameplay, awesome graphics. There's nothing really negative you could say about this game, besides the fact that they only give you 3 lives, hardly any extra lives, and no continues. I'm pretty sure. They might give you 3 continues, but when I tried playing this game on easy, I had a hard time beating it. And I haven't beat it yet, but I just got this game, so I'm not, you know, rushing to beat it that much, but I'll beat it eventually, probably. It's a really fun game. Alright. We got Double Dragon. Not much to say about this game. It's already a really well-known game. It's a side-scrolling beat-em-up game. #1 arcade. smash hit or whatever. So yeah, Double Dragon. You can only play with one player at a time on the first Double Dragon, and the second Double Dragon, Double Dragon 2, the Revenge, you can play as 2 players at a time, but the controls are kind of weird, so a lot of people complain about the controls. I don't have Double Dragon 3 and I don't think I've played it, so I can't tell you if it's a good or a bad game. Can't tell you if it's worse or better than the other Double Dragon games for the NES, but I can tell you that these 2 games are pretty awesome. So, alright. Got another sports game, but the only sports games I have for the Nintendo are pretty good sports games. Double Dribble, really addicting basketball game. Sort of like NBA Jam before that came out. I think they got a lot of their ideas from this, you know. But anyways, not much to say about it, just a basketball game for the Nintendo. Not much to say about this game either, except for it sucks really bad. It's really hard. I don't think I'll ever beat it. I don't think I want to. The only reason why I picked it up is hopefully eventually, you know, I'll meet Angry Video Game Nerd at PAX or something like that if I ever go. But or maybe, you know, somebody I know will go there and I can get it signed, or I don't know. I don't know why I picked it up, honestly. I'm never probably gonna meet him, and I just saw it at the pawn shop for $2 and decided to pick it up. So, and it is really that bad. So if you want a really bad game, you want to torture yourself really bad, then pick this game up. Next we got Dr. Mario. Everybody knows about this game pretty much. It's a fun puzzle game, sort of like Tetris. You gotta match the pills up, the colors on the pills, and get like 3 in a row in the same color and then it'll disappear. And you have to get rid of the viruses and match their colors up with the pills or whatever, and they'll disappear, and then, you know, and then you beat the level and you go to the next level and it gets harder and harder. So yeah. Next we got Excite Bike, a really fun motorcycle game. You go left to right, obviously, like in most Nintendo games, and but this game is really fun because you can like create your own tracks, and it has a save feature, but the save feature doesn't work because I'm pretty sure what I heard was in the Japanese version the save feature worked, but when they transferred it over to the American, they didn't, you know, do the save feature. They didn't add it in, or something. They forgot to take out the save thing, or I don't know. A lot of confusion with this game, but it's a fun game. Next one we got here is F-15 Strike Eagle. Another one I haven't played yet. There's only a couple games in here that I haven't played because, you know, they're kind of new pickups and I just haven't had time to really pop them in and check them out. But it looks fun, so that's why I picked it up. I'll try it out pretty soon. And yeah, if you guys haven't noticed, this is going to be a very long video, so I don't know if you want to pause the video, go make a sandwich, or grab a drink, or something like that. It's just fair warning, this is going to be a long video. The next game we got here is Faxanadu. I haven't beat this game yet, but I got pretty far, and then I started getting kind of bored with it. I don't know why, maybe I started playing a different game or something that was a little bit funner, but I'll definitely come back to it and try to beat it. You know, it wasn't that boring to where I'm never going to come back to it. It was definitely a really fun game. So yeah, Faxanadu, sort of like Zelda 2 for the NES. So it's that. Now this next game, a lot of people ridicule and say that it's, you know, one of the worst games on the NES or whatever, and it's really bad. But I actually kind of like it, and you just have to know how to play this game, and just, I guess you die a lot and you just kind of learn from your mistakes and just kind of know what's coming up, and And my advice is just level your gun up from the very beginning all the way, and then just be overpowered and just like kill everything. Because if you don't level your gun up all the way, then you're just going to be screwed from the very beginning. So that's my advice. And there's a little trick to beat the bosses too, like, I don't know, you could probably look up a YouTube video or something, but yeah, there's a trick to beat the bosses. But I've actually beat the game without the little boss glitch or whatever, so. Anyways, the next game, The Goonies 2. And The Goonies 1, I actually played it when I was a kid. It was like on a 52-in-1 game cartridge. And I don't think it was ever released though on a single cart like this. I think it was just released in Japan. But it was like on a compilation cart when I was a kid. I played it, so that was cool. It's a pretty fun game. Not much to say about it. This one right here, Gotcha. It's like you use a light gun, and the enemies show up on the screen like in a forest type setting or whatever. And you just gotta shoot the bad guys and not shoot the good guys or whatever, the civilians. So your basic light gun. It's actually a pretty fun game for LJN. You know, I mean, it might be the funnest LJN game that I've ever played. So there you go. Next game is The Guardian Legend. And this is one of those underrated classics that a lot of people are just starting to learn about. It's like Zelda, it's like Metroid, it's like, you know, all your favorite Nintendo games thrown into one. So it's definitely one of those games you gotta try out if you haven't tried it out. Next game, Hogan's Alley, another light gun game, but this one's more, I don't know. It's like they have like cardboard cutout guys that flip around, and it's more like it feels like a carnival type game. So it's pretty fun though. And it's pretty accurate. Next we got Ice Hockey. One of the other more popular hockey games for the NES. The characters look more cartoony or more, you know, I don't know, but the gameplay is pretty much the same, but I still prefer to play Blades of Steel over this. So next game we got is Iron Sword. It's a sequel to Wizards and Warriors, and I just picked it up because it was like, I think it was $1 or $2 at the pawn shop or thrift store or something, and I'm looking for the first Wizards and Warriors and the third one to get all three of them. This one's like the worst one in the series though, I heard, so I wouldn't recommend trying it out if you want to play a fun game. Let's see, got Journey to Silius. This was supposed to be a Terminator game, but they lost Sunsoft lost the license for the Terminator name, or the Terminator movie, or whatever you want to say, and so they had to change the name. They continued on with the project, and they changed the name to Journey to Silius, and it's a really awesome game. It's another underrated classic. I'm glad I found this for cheap, and yeah, definitely try it out. Next game, Joust. Not much to say about this game. Yeah, it's like Balloon Fight. I think that's what it's called. And you just fly around like on a bird, and you gotta hit people on the top, and if they hit you on the top, then you start falling. I don't know, it's kind of weird, but it's an alright game, I guess. This next game, Karnov. It's a really fun game. It's a side-scrolling game. You shoot like fireballs out of your mouth or hand or something. I think it's out of your mouth. And start killing all the enemies on the screen and move left to right. And like in most games, you know, get to a boss at the end of the level and try to beat the boss, and then get more powered up and get more items, and then, you know, continue on with your quest. So it's a pretty fun game if you're into that kind of stuff. I recommend it. Next we got Kirby's Adventure. It's a really amazing game for the NES. The graphics, the colors, the music, everything about this game. It's a huge game. I still haven't beat it yet. I've gotten to like the 5th or 6th world or something like that, and I was like, dang, this game is huge. You know, just as big as Mario 3, if not bigger. So, and just as fun too, I think. So definitely check this game out. Next we got Kung Fu, side-scrolling game. It's like a karate game, obviously, and you just kick and punch your opponents. And yeah, there's only like 5 stages or 4 stages, so and it's a really hard game. So but it's a short game. So if you get really good at it, you can end up beating it in like 10 minutes or something like that. But I think I've only beaten it like once or twice in my whole life, though. So yeah, it's not one of those games where I'm gonna sit there and try to play it over and over again. It's not that fun, but it's pretty fun for a little bit, I think. Next we got Legendary Wings. This is definitely a game you guys should try out. It's a Capcom game. The colors, I think the colors they choose in the game are kind of weird. It's like a lot of purple and pink and stuff, so that probably throws people off on, you know, on the longevity or whatever you want to say. And you know, the gameplay or whatever, they probably don't want to play it for too long because like, it's too much pink. But you know, if you can get past all the pink or whatever, then this can be a really fun game. It's like a shooting sort of like Gradius type game. So, or Life Force. And speaking of Life Force, here's Life Force right here. Not much to say about this game. You're just like in space shooting spaceships or whatever. But the gameplay is really addicting, really fun. I don't think I'll ever beat this game either. It's just too hard. Even with the contra code you put in, you know, the 30 lives or whatever, I don't think I'll ever beat the game. So, alright. Next here we got Mag Max, and the music stopped. I went all through my playlist here. Mag Max is a game sort of like Life Force, where you're kind of in space shooting or whatever, but you can power your ship up to be bigger and more powerful. So it's a pretty fun game. I'm probably gonna stop the video here and make a part 2. I hate to do that because a lot of people usually don't tune in to part 2 for some reason, but I hope you guys really do tune into part 2. So yeah, click on the next video. I'm gonna make it right now and I'll upload it, you know, right after this video uploads. So I'll see you guys in part 2. Bye.